All right, so have you heard this one, Bac Bling? I mean, it's catchy, right? But today we're diving deeper than just the catchy tune
Yeah, we're going way beyond just the song.
into Bac Ninh province in Vietnam,
Mm.
the cultural heart of it all.
Exactly. Contemporary Vietnam, episode 1, What's Buck Bling? That's our jumping off point. It's a video.
And it's a really fascinating look at how tradition and modern trends kind of like collide and create this like whole new thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they blend together.
So we're going to unpack those layers
Yeah, let's peel it back.
and help you understand what makes Bac Bling tick.
Okay, so first things first. What does Bac Bling even refer to? The video makes it pretty clear. It's about Bac Ninh province, right?
Right. And the video really highlights Bac Ninh as the home of this ancient Quan Ho singing tradition.
Hmm.
But here's where it gets interesting. This super old art form is getting like a resurgence
Yeah.
through things like TikTok. It's reaching a whole new audience.
Which is pretty amazing when you think about it. And it's not just any type of singing, right? It's got this romantic element to it. It's like a duet-based tradition.
Yeah, the video actually calls it musical Tinder, which I thought was like the perfect way to describe it.
Oh.
Instead of swiping, you got this back and forth singing between two people, sometimes even across like rivers and streams. It's like a musical conversation, almost a form of flirting, really.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we've got the sound now. Let's talk visuals, because the video also highlights some very specific imagery that's tied to Bac Ninh.
You're talking about the Nón Quai Thao, right?
Yeah.
The hats, those beautiful round hats with the long flowing ribbons.
Exactly, and those are super traditional to Bac Ninh. They're making a comeback too. It's like tradition meets modern fashion.
Yeah, and it shows you how something old can become new again. But let's not forget the beetle leaves. The video even asks, is it like chewing gum?
Yeah, that's a good question, because for someone who's not familiar with Vietnamese culture, beetle leaves might seem a little out of place.
But they're really important. Betel leaves in Vietnam, particularly in Bac Ninh, they symbolize hospitality, connecting with people, and even expressing romantic interest. It's like offering someone a betel leaf is like the traditional equivalent of a swipe, right?
Makes sense. So we're seeing a lot of symbolism here. It's not just random traditions, it's a whole web of social customs that have been around for centuries.
Yeah,
And then there's the clothing, the halo, the khăn
right, the
sit.
robes and headscarves. The video really emphasizes that these garments represent Vietnamese elegance. Like when you wear them, you're basically stepping into a classical painting.
And they look so striking in the modern dances in the Bắc Bling Bling video. It's like tradition meets modern swagger.
It really is. And then there's Hội Lim Festival, which the video calls Bac Ninh's most significant festival.
Yeah, it's a huge celebration of Quan Ho singing. Everything from performances to competitions. They even have games and stuff. It's like a big community talent show, but with this deep cultural meaning behind it.
Yeah, it's keeping those traditions alive. Yeah. And then there's the whole art of preparing betel leaves.
The phoenix wing beetle leaves, right? That's where they fold the leaves into the shape of a phoenix wing.
Mm.
It's not just about offering beetle. It's about the artistry, the care that goes into it. It's a sign of respect and good wishes.
It's like taking something simple and elevating it to an art form. It really adds another layer of meaning to it. So we've talked about tradition, but what about the modern side of Bac Bling? The video makes this really interesting comparison. It says, it's like if your peaceful grandmother suddenly dropped a mixtape. The kind with rap and EDM.
Yeah, it's that unexpected twist. That's what makes it so catchy. It's taking Quan Ho and fusing it with modern music.
It's not about replacing the old. It's about finding new ways to connect with it, especially for younger generations who are like super plugged into things like TikTok.
Yeah, that's so important to keep culture relevant, and Bac Bling does a great job of that. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the video trying to tell us? I think it's saying that culture isn't stuck in the past. It's constantly changing. It's finding new ways to express itself. And Bac Bling is a perfect example of that.
It really is. It's a reminder that tradition and modernity can exist together, and that they can even make each other stronger.
Yeah.
You've got this rich cultural heritage of Bac Ninh with the Quan Ho singing and the Nón Quai Thao hats and the beetle leaves and the Kunasop outfits and the Hội Lim Festival and even the phoenix wing beetle leaves.
Yeah, it's like a whole tapestry of traditions. And then you add in the modern elements like TikTok and the music, and suddenly it's something fresh and exciting. But it's still deeply rooted in that cultural history.
And that's what makes it so compelling. So here's a final thought for you. What other traditions around the world are being reimagined for the modern age? And what does that tell us about the power of culture to adapt and thrive, even in a constantly changing world?
That's a great question to ponder. It really makes you think.
It does. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive. So until next time, keep exploring.
Keep digging deeper.
And keep those earworms coming.
You never know where they might lead you.
And that's a wrap.
See you next time.
Bye for now.